Hi, everybody. My name is Shamash Aladina. I'm author of Mindfulness for Dummies. I'm going to be sharing with you a story about that I heard about a monk and how this monk managed to survive a riptide in a current by using mindfulness and letting go. So it's quite an interesting story. I can't actually remember who I heard this from. It might have been from a talk or something, but apparently it was a true story. There's a couple of these monks, and they were wandering around on various beaches in, I think it was Australia, and they found a lovely bay with a wonderful ocean, and they thought, oh wow, this looks amazing, let's go for a bit of a swim. And they don't often get the opportunities to swim, these monks, so they dived into the ocean. One of them did anyway. Actually, I think there was just one on his own, and he went off and he started swimming. And although the current was very kind of smooth and it looks very, very calm at first, suddenly it was one of those ripped tides or rip currents. So rather than being easy for him to swim back, it became harder and harder. And he put some effort into swim back, and then the wave and the tides just started to push him further and further away from the beach. And he noticed himself being pulled away, and he was swimming to try against the tide, but no matter how much he swam, he was going back further than going forwards. And so he practiced a great courageous moment, because imagine if you're in the situation, you're in the ocean, it's a beautiful day and stuff, but you can see that beach going further and further into the distance, and no matter how much you try and swim, these waves are pulling you out further and further. That would be really scary, wouldn't it? Well, what most people would do is that you'd be on autopilot, and so you just try and swim as hard as you can to try and get back to that beach. But he realized that if he puts his effort in to keep trying to swim back, he's never going to get back, because he's just going to get worn out and tired, because he's already a bit tired. So he practiced letting go in that situation. Now you can imagine he must have been really kind of nervous. Well, I bet I would have been anyway. And he started to get further. He just let himself go back and back, and he just was practicing patience. And he was hoping that at some point that rip tide or that rip current would stop, and it would stop. He would be able to swim back. And luckily, it was really far into the distance, but it did. The strong waves and current that was pushing him out slowed down and eventually stopped. And so then he had the opportunity to go back to the shore. And so at that point, he decided, okay, now I need to put all my effort in. And then he swam, and I think he might have swam around a little bit as well. And, he started to, it was still hard. There was still current there, but he kept swimming and swimming and swimming. And the tide kept pushing him a little bit back. But each time he swam, he was able to go forwards more than going backwards. And through this process, luckily, he just about had enough energy to get back onto the shore, and he survived. And when people asked him for the story, he shared that story, and he said, he just about managed to make it with that much lower current. And he said if he had kept fighting to try and get to the shore, he never would have made it. And I've always remembered that story, actually, because first of all, it's about the power of letting go, and the power of having the courage of letting go, and also the power of waves as well, because we did our first day of our 30-day meditation challenge today, and I was talking about waves and how everything comes in waves. Our breath comes in waves, like the waves in the ocean. The tides come and go in waves. Our thoughts, like a train of thoughts, come in a wave. And this poor guy, this monk, was actually on a literal wave, which was very strong. So I think it's a nice metaphor for us to remember about the power of letting go, actually, and how sometimes letting go is easy, and at other times it's really, really hard. And in that situation, you'd think more effort would work. But even in the life and death situation, sometimes you need to practice letting go for a while, so that the timing is right for you to put some effort back in. So that's what I wanted to share today. Hope you found that an interesting little story, something to reflect on today. And I think some of you, or many of you, are on that 30-day challenge, but do join us if you are not. 30daymindfulnesschallenge.com. And I think we may have 5 people short of 100 for the community, which is amazing. So look forward to seeing you on there too, and hope you have all a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.